Welcome players to another drawing tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you how to draw VR Morty and VR Mr.Meeseeks from Rick and Morty Virtual Rick-ality. Let's get started with VR Morty. Go ahead and make a basic circle for Morty's head. In the game, clone Morty with the virtual Oculus Rift headset is only consisting of a head and his hand. Go ahead and make his smiling mouth with some teeth that are going to be connected to each other. And go ahead and make the ears on the side of his head. Make a little circle for his nose, and now we're going to go ahead and make the actual Oculus Rift VR headset. Just make a nice, round-cornered rectangle right in the middle of his face. Make sure it's going above the circle, and then around it we're going to go ahead and make his hair. Now, for his hands are pretty simple. First we're going to start off with the little gauntlets or watches, if you will. Then we're going to go ahead and make an oven mitt for the palm of his hand. And make nice little segments consisting of little sticks, which are going to be his fingers. Erase that little baseline we made earlier, and go ahead and shape in his fingers. Just round, bony little fingers for this one. And now we're going to go ahead and repeat the same process for the other hand. But this time, this wrist is going to have a little bit of detailing, being a rectangle and a little circle to the side. We're going to do the same thing where we did with Morty's other hand, but this time his fingers are going to be a little bit more open. Now for coloring, I went ahead and traced over the Morty drawing with Sharpie, and I erased the pencil lines. This is optional. And I went ahead and used a peach colored pencil for his skin, and I darkened around his face and also his hands for that shading detail. Make sure you're coloring within the lines, and also with tracing over Sharpie, you want to make sure that you are taking it slow. Now I'm going to go ahead, use a black colored pencil, darken around the VR headset, and then use a lighter shade of black for the main base tone for it. I'm going to do the similar treatment to the gauntlets. For the square, I'm going to go ahead and use an aqua blue, and for a little circle, I'm going to use a purple. For the hair, I'm going to use a brown and shade around the VR headset. Touching up here and there. And guys, once you've done this simple procedure, you have a VR Morty. Now, on to Mr.Meeseeks. This time, we're going to go ahead and draw Mr.Meeseeks, but with just a VR headset, not with it ripped off. Just make a nice little ovalish circle right there. Make a nice little straight smile and the rectangle shape for his face. But this time he has actually wires attached to it, so make sure you make those little shapes right there. And for his hair, just a little bit of scruffy little patch of hair right there. And for his hands are pretty much actually literally oven mittens. So just draw two little oven mittens right there. I repeat the same process like I did with Morty. And now I'm just going to color the headset basically the same way I did with Morty's. I'm going to color his hair orange, shade it a little bit. I'm going to use an aqua blue for Mr.Meeseeks' skin. I'm going to shade the palm of his hands, and also around the VR headset, and a little bit around his chin. Again, it's just like coloring within the lines of the coloring book, so just make sure you're taking it slow, nice and easy. Use purple for the wires and gold tips for the rest of that. And guys, once you're done with that simple drawing, you have a VR Mr.Meeseeks. Now, for my opinion, the funniest drawing in this video is going to be Mr.Meeseeks, but with his virtual reality helmet just literally ripped off from his eyes, and he looks really goofy. So we're going to make the same shape that we made for Mr.Meeseeks' head, but this time we're going to make his mouth into a football shape. Draw a little round teeth like we made before with Morty, or clone Morty. Make a nice little tongue jutting out in the middle. Make those teeth on the top. And then we're going to go ahead and make a nice little patch right there, which is going to be indicating that the skin is ripped, because you can actually, in the game, you can rip the VR helmet from Mr. Meeseeks' face. And in the middle of that, we're going to go ahead and make his eyes. One eye is going to be elongated oval, and the other one's going to be a little circle. Make sure they're touching each other. Make his cheeks, make his simple little eyebrows, and of course pupils in the middle. We're going to make his oven mitts, just like before. And I added this little detail in. We're going to make the VR headset with the little patches of skin hanging off it. So draw kind of like ripped fabric attached to it. Of course, I did the same Sharpie outline process, and I'm coloring it the same way, but I'm going to go ahead and shade the ripped skin patches and around his mouth as well. And of course, I'm going to use red for his mouth and then for his tongue. Make sure that you're using a dark red for the inside of his mouth and a lighter shade of red for the tongue. And other than that, it's pretty simple. Make sure you darken around his eyes, get that nice level of shading detail. I also use a light black colored pencil. I would probably recommend using maybe a gray, using a light gray to shade around his teeth. But then again, it's really kind of an unnecessary detail. I went ahead and colored in his eyes with the Sharpie. That's Mr. Meeseeks. Look at him go. He's probably one of my favorite characters from the actual show, and we're going to go ahead and finish off the drawing with coloring the VR headset. And guys, once you're done with that, you have a freaked out Mr. Meeseeks with his VR headset ripped completely from his face. So guys, these drawings were pretty simple and hilarious to do. I do like the Adult Swim TV show Rick and Morty, and I really am digging the virtual reality game that just came out recently. So guys, if you have played the game, let me know how it is, and if you had any fun experiences with that. Make sure that you like, rate, and comment below, and also subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Press Start to Draw is signing off.